What it do, cuckolds? It's your boy, the Hater, up in this pace. Hater outdoors, you know. I'm pretty sure I have the flu. I haven't been sick, really, since, like, 5th grade. You know what I mean? So here we are, cucks. The Hater doesn't like this. Hopefully, I will not get sick for another, like, 20 years or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So with that being said, let's get to today's video. You know, how apropos that since tomorrow is the Hater reboot, you know what I mean, which we're going to start out with probably just the Raw review tomorrow. We'll see. I figured today we would do a nice capping off of this season of the Hater with 25 reasons why WWE sucks. All right. Also, we're going to be bringing back the 25 reasons videos full time, cucks. Full time. Expect at least one of those a week. Maybe more. We'll see how it goes. Anyways, here are 25 reasons why WWE sucks. All right. Reason number 1. Nobody wrestles, right? We're talking about, what, like 7 hours of wrestling on any given week? How long is NXT? Is NXT 1 hour or 2? I don't even know, cucks. But SmackDown is 3 hours. I don't know if that's like a thing now. Raw is going to be 3 hours eventually, and has been for a long-ass time. And, you know, despite all this, we just don't get enough wrestling. I mean, let's just call it like it is, right? It's like the show is going to get longer and longer as time goes on. You know, one day we'll have like 4-hour Raws and we'll have like 3 matches. So, you know, that's unacceptable and probably the most important reason why WWE sucks. Reason number 2, it goes hand in hand with reason number 1. Too many ads, all right? Too many ads. Now, obviously, these two reasons go hand in hand. I mean, if you don't have enough wrestling, you got to fill your show with something else. And that something else, obviously, is going to be ads. Now, obviously, we have your traditional commercials, but then we've got ads within ads, right? Like, we have basically commercials by the WWE for other companies, you know what I mean? Like Boost Mobile, it's like Charlotte Flair walking around and like some bitch is like, oh, hey, Charlotte, I want to be a diva too, or whatever, right? And that kind of stuff happens, and that's how it goes down, you know? But then we've got like other commercials, like R-Truth playing with action figures, a man in his 50s, you know what I mean? Then we've got like other promotions. Then we've got like sponsorships and everything else. It really is a huge circle jerk of ads. It's unacceptable. Next up, reason number 3. Too many champions and too many championships, right? We just added the Women's United States and the Women's Intercontinental title to the mix. Unacceptable, but it is what it is. That's how we did it. There's too many championships, and the champions just don't feel like they are a big deal. I mean, Kelani Jordan, who might be released tomorrow, was like a champion. You know what I mean? Granted, she was like the North American women's champion, right? There's like 100 titles. It's fucking ridiculous. You know what I mean? Now I'm pretty sure there's like an equal number of women's titles to men's titles. The only one is the tag team titles, right? And they're going to change that too. They're going to probably do like women's NXT tag team titles, and they'll do like women's Raw and women's SmackDown tag team titles. So it's going to be like 100 titles in this goddamn company. Reason number 4, the standards are too low. A personal favorite of the Haters. You know, you got people like Trick Williams, Obafemi, and Eddie Thorpe, right, coming out and trying to cut like promos. You know what I mean? I couldn't believe it. I tuned into like NXT by accident, and I see these people cutting a promo, and I'm like, I couldn't be less excited for this if I tried. Like Trick Williams is like, you and I have beef. And then Obafemi, he's like at least passable on the mic, you know, but he's not exciting either. He's boring, you know what I mean? There's nothing about him that makes me excited to see him talk. You know, that's fine. Not everyone needs to talk, but you need to have some charisma, you know what I mean? Reason number 5. Too many women's matches. As the Hater has said many times in the past, nothing wrong inherently with women's wrestling. Absolutely not. It's just there's just too much of it, and the women are not developed enough, right? So you see, for example, like the aforementioned Kelani Jordan, and then you see like, I don't know, Katana Chance. And you're like, what's the difference? Like, why should I like one more than the other? You know, that's kind of fundamentally what wrestling's all about, right? And we're going to talk about that later in a different video after the reboot, cucks. Reason number 6, Triple H is in charge. He doesn't know what he's doing. More on that later, cucks. Reason number 7, WrestleMania and now soon SummerSlam are going to be 2 days, right? I hate that. I personally think it's a horrible idea. So let's move on to reason number 8, which goes hand in hand with reason number 7. Reason number 8, everything is diluted all the time. I just said WrestleMania and SummerSlam are 2 days now, which means they're diluted by virtue of the fact that neither day feels extra special. You know, like, I don't know if anyone else has this feeling, but like, after night 1 of WrestleMania, you know what I mean? Don't you kind of feel like, oh, shit, that's weird. You know what I mean? Like, you're finished with night 1 and it's like some things already happened. Like, some people already had their WrestleMania moments, but then you have another WrestleMania the next day. It's a little bit weird, right? It's a little bit odd. But anyways, neither here nor there. What happens now, though, from this is that people have diluted WrestleMania. So, in other words, if you are wrestling in the main event of WrestleMania Night 1, people say, I main evented WrestleMania. No, you didn't, cuck. No, you didn't. Number 1. 2, just having a WrestleMania moment can now happen on 1 of 2 days. So that's not good. But this is not the only type of dilution. You know, we talked about the world titles and the other championships. That's also a form of dilution. But everything just means less nowadays, right? Because they keep either introducing new titles or kind of like taking a title and like rebranding it, you know, and having it start its own lineage, you know, a lot of things don't matter anymore. So for example, the New Day, I think, are like the longest reigning like SmackDown Tag Team Champions. But now like the SmackDown Tag Team Champions or championships are called like the World Tag Team Championships, right? So it's like a different belt. So now the Usos are the longest reigning of those. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, because they dilute everything, everyone has some sort of record, right? You have to think about it just for a second, right? There was like a moment when in NXT like a year ago, when Braun Breaker and Baron Corbin won the tag team titles. And the announcers were like, it's been 7 years since Braun Breaker has won a WWE championship, right? Like, the way they said it was almost like, wow, like, what a loser he is. Like, that should be the norm. The norm should be you don't win any WWE championships. You know? Like, only excellent people get to become champions. But the way that they made it sound was like, oh, it means nothing to be a WWE champion of any sort, so isn't it odd that Baron Corbin hasn't done this in 7 years? You know? No, it's not odd. He sucks. You know, like, Val Venus, who I use as an example, now it's become kind of a joke. Like, he's like a multiple-time European champion, Intercontinental champion, etc. Right? But when I say multiple-time, it's like he had like 1 Intercontinental title run. He had like 1 European title run. He had like maybe 1 tag team title run. You know? Because other people either needed the belt more than him, or he just wasn't good enough at that juncture. But nobody said, wow, it's been a while since Val Venus has been IC champ. Yeah, it should be hard to be IC champ, right? Like William Regal is like a 2-time Intercontinental champion. William Regal, everybody's favorite mid-carder, right? He's a 2-time, I believe, IC champ. You know, and like the title belts, like the reigns were like 10 years apart. You know what I mean? The whole point I'm trying to make here is that you have people, and they should get pushes, they should get like title opportunities, but within reason, right? If everyone's champion, nobody's champion. Cucks. Reason number 9. Nobody on the current roster has the potential to be a legend. Let's be real. We all know I'm right here. You know what I'm saying? I'm right. Like, maybe one day they can bring back Seth Rollins in his like 40s or 50s, and they can pretend he's a legend, but nobody's going to believe that shit. You know what I mean? Drew McIntyre, same thing. None of these guys are legends. Like, people are going to grow up watching them and idolizing them, but like, they're not really legends. Reason number 10. There are no gimmicks. Enough said. I'm going to do an entire video on this later, so for now, we'll just look at this. Reason number 11. There's too much emphasis on indie jobbers. One of the things Triple H really likes is not to do the hard work and create stars or find stars. All he does is just takes the stars that other people have found for indie wrestling. The problem is, indie wrestling stars are not WWE stars. So this over-reliance and emphasis on indie guys has led to the current state of WWE. Cucks. Reason number 12. There is zero effort put on tag team wrestling. Tag team wrestling used to be one of the most important elements of wrestling, right? There was something special about that. You know, the Dudleys, the Hardys, and Edge and Christian, they put on, tables, ladders, and chairs. Oh my, right? And the first WrestleMania match they had, I believe, was just a ladder match, a regular ass ladder match, and which, you know, turned into essentially what would become tables, ladders, and chairs, but it was like a ladder match where they used tables and I think also chairs. So it's like, think about that. That match was like the best match at WrestleMania, and the next year's match was also the best match at WrestleMania. And it's like, you wouldn't expect like Devon and Bubba Ray and Christian to put on the best match, right? But they did. You know what I mean? Tag team wrestling, as a result, became important by putting on these crazy-ass matches, by jumping off of ladders to become the tag team champions. This put the tag team championships at like as a very prestigious title, right? Now nobody seems to care. You know, nobody's out there trying to get title shots at all. It's been the worst it's ever been. Reason number 13, the brand split is dumb. All right, this is especially visible now because now we have like the transfer window, you know, but even before the transfer window, none of that shit matters. The real truth of the matter here is that the brand split has been dumb, like, since basically the first time they did it. From that point forward, it's been retarded. So there you have it, cucks. Reason number 14, there is no Vince McMahon, and we already know how I feel about that. Reason number 15, nobody is watching, cucks. Nobody cares about what's happening because nobody watches. Reason number 16, there are 0 new stars, okay? Nobody is making stars. Forget about legends. Nobody's even making stars, you know? Like, you think, for example, if, like, Tony D'Angelo was walking down the street, anybody would recognize him? Absolutely not. You think if Obafemi or Trick Williams were at your local mall, you think anybody there would know they're celebrities? Like, I wouldn't even consider them celebrities. You know? But even if you do consider them as such, nobody would recognize them. Nobody knows who these people are, right? Same thing with Seth Rollins, honestly, and CM Punk. Nobody knows who these people are because only 1.5 million people watch them, which, you know, really puts into question Seth Rollins' you know, like, I'll make you famous attempt at like a catchphrase, you know, like, absolutely not. But anyways, whatever, it is what it is. Reason number 17. You know, earlier I said Triple H is in charge, but this is a different reason. 17. There is too much Triple H. Every time something happens, this asshole has to be around. He has to be there presenting the title. His name, Paul Levesque, appears like at the end of the show for some reason. It's like, you know, executive produced by Paul Levesque and like some other guy like Jeremy Fritter or something. Like, I don't even know his name. What the fuck? Who are these people? You know, why are you even making this seem like a TV show? It should be like almost this window into a different world. But anyways, not here or there. Reason number 18. Straight up lies, right? My personal favorite reason. The amount of lying that WWE tells us makes it suck. You know what I mean? They just straight up tell us like complete lies. Like, oh, what you're watching is the best wrestling that's ever been. No, it isn't. You know? Oh, shit. Explain then, Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins, how is it that if today's wrestling is better, how is it that like 6.5 million fewer people are watching wrestling? And this is not even taking into account population growth, right? Nobody ever talks about that either. You know what I mean? Let's Google it real fast up in this mug. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. Population of the U.S. in 1999. Cucks. It was 280 million. So we have 50 million more people since then. You know what I mean? So fuck out of here with that bullshit. You know? Nobody even talks about the population, let alone anything else. But the point is nobody's watching, and as a result of this, they just straight up have to lie to you. Reason number 19. The reason why nobody's watching is because nothing exciting happens. Nothing exciting. That's a reason all on its own. Reason number 20. There are too many real athletes. Real athletes can't draw a dime. It's as simple as that. Like, I've always been a Cristiano Ronaldo guy, but I'm one of those people that once Messi won the World Cup, I had to say it like it is. Messi's obviously the GOAT, you know? It's not even close. I don't want to hear this horseshit. Oh, Pele and Maradona. Like, if Pele and Maradona played today, they would be like completely average players. Like Messi and Ronaldo would run circles around them. Like, it wouldn't even be close. You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. But Messi, you know, even though he's the best soccer player in the world, David Beckham is more popular, right? Because David Beckham is charismatic, and he's not a real athlete compared to Messi. I mean, they're both obviously real athletes, but he's not on the same level, not even close. But he's more famous, right? Because real athletes don't draw. Which brings us to reason 21. Zero charisma, right? Simple as that. You know, David Beckham, a lot of charisma, right? So he's going to be more famous. He's going to become more of a household name than, I don't know, let's think of a zero charisma athlete. Like, here's a better example. Dennis Rodman, who was a good player, right? He's going to be more memorable. He's going to stick around longer in the public consciousness than, let's say, Karl Malone, right? Or than, let's say, like Dominique Wilkins, you know what I mean? Or these other people that nobody could give a shit about, right? It's not always about being the best. It's about being the most interesting. Reason number 22, nothing new has happened in a long-ass time. Now, I understand that new things shouldn't happen all the time. But it's like, when was the last time we had a new match, right? Oh, the Iron Survivor. That's just a scramble match. Call it what you want. It's basically like the TNA King of the Mountain match with like scramble match like rules. You know, back like even like after the year 2000, you know, we had like Elimination Chamber, Money in the Bank. You know, now the only things that are new are like things that we've had forever, just for women. You know, like, oh, it's time for a women's ladder match, first ever, right? You know what I mean? So there you have it, Cucks. Reason number 23, over-reliance on the past, right? This WrestleMania is going to be full of people from the past. Cena, you know, excuse me, The Rock, Goldberg, etc. Now, I like these guys, but it doesn't change the fact that there's an over-reliance on the past, Cucks. Reason number 24, no storylines, right? Name 3 current WWE storylines. Okay, you've got Solo Sikoa and Roman Reigns, like that whole circle jerk. And you've got, that's it really. I was going to say Liv Morgan and, what's it called? Rhea Ripley, but that's not a storyline anymore. You know? Like, it's no longer a storyline. Now they're just wrestling for the title. Because Rhea Ripley had her chance to take Dom back or whatever. That didn't work, so she's going to get infinite chances until she wins. So, we have one storyline going on, and that proves my point. And reason number 25, another personal favorite of the haters, long-term booking, right? At this point, just accept it as it is. You know, from August till, you know, tomorrow, nothing's happened, right? Basically, like 4 months of absolutely nothing, nearly 5 months of absolutely nothing. And then we're going to have something happen, and then nothing's going to happen until WrestleMania, except for, you know, someone's going to win the Rumble, obviously. There you have it. That's how it's going to be, Cucks. So, I look forward to tomorrow's reboot, and we'll go from there. Cuckwads.